Hello and welcome to another episode review edition of the Simply Put podcast. My name is Micki Angeles.
I am ready to hood up, people. I am Fred Niones, a.k.a. Angelo.
And I'm the special guest, Arjay.
Yay!
And we're going to review Arrow Season 3, Episode 17, Suicidal Tendencies, where we see John Diggle and Lila Michaels get remarried. And as soon as they try to go to their honeymoon, they're recruited to the Suicide Squad again to save a U.S. senator. And back in Starling City, we have the inevitable showdown between Atom and Arrow.
So overall, I thought this episode was much better than the previous one, yet still not maintaining what the Flash is doing or what I think the season 2 of the Arrow was. I did like the dualities of the stories that were going on. I had the whole battle for the Raish throne, as well as the Suicide Squad doing one more mission, and some backstories of some other characters. It was satisfying. It pushed the story forward, but still not hitting the notes I think that this show could be.
Overall, I like the whole Arrow becoming better, bigger, and more than just the Arrow. And in this episode, you get to see more of like people coming into Arrow's life and more of like people leaving his life. And overall,
it was a decent episode for me. Last season's Suicide Squad episode was a little better, but it's always great to see John Diggle do his thing and see him improve as a fighter. He took that dude down in like 2 blows. And Iron Man versus Batman. What can I say? It was pretty cool.
Listen, any Diggle episode is a great episode, but this episode didn't fare out as much. But we did get to see our main man Diggle become remarried to Lila. And also a standoff between Olicity and Raylicity and the whole shipping, whatever you kids do over there. We see some bruises from Laurel to see how she's training with Nyssa.
Laurel had like the wrist brace at the wedding, and she's been training, working her thing. And also, like you said, Raylicity versus Allicity. In the wedding,
What team are you on?
I was with Allicity.
Allicity?
Yeah.
I'm pulling for Ray and Felicity, man. All right, there you go. You got it.
I'm on Let's Kill Felicity.
Did you guys catch the Rick Flag name drop?
No.
Because I thought when he said, "Oh, Lila had a good friend named Rick get deployed somewhere else," I thought I'm thinking it's Rick Flag, so it is a Suicide Squad episode, so that was a good thing.
And in the wedding scene, I saw some jealousy with Oliver because Ray, who knew he was a minister.
Oh yeah,
Ray, come on, he saved the wedding.
Yeah, and like I said in a previous episode, it's like. And Stephen Amell, are you even still trying anymore? It's like the same expression, whether you're good, bad, or indifferent. You're the Tim Duncan of the CW right now. Your expressions
at least you're consistent.
Are weird. You're doing your Batman voice a little bit too often. And come on, man. I know you're going through a lot of things, but this is the Green Arrow. The Emerald Archer. He smiles, so you could smile too.
And he's sarcastic.
Yeah.
And what I really like? How John Diggle pulled Ray in and goes like, "You heard her. I'll make sure nobody will find you." So you're showing that big brother thing with Felicity.
Guys, of course, this is a comic book show. So what would end the wedding perfect? Is it a bouquet toss? No, it's finding out that Arrow has struck again by killing bad guys.
You failed this city.
So we have the faux arrows. There was faux arrows. There was faux on a killing spree, trying to defame his name so that Oliver could come back. And we find out that Maseo was leading the charge, sending different arrows to different locations. And when Arrow hits there, he breaks it down and says, "Listen, you're going to be taking the throne. You better take it now."
I'm really liking how they're handling Maceo's character right now. We've seen them how they're like brothers in arms in the flashbacks, and to see this dichotomy is almost like Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader type of thing, where they have to face each other. One's in the dark side of the Force and Arrow's with the light side of the Force. So it's very cool to see that dynamic go down.
Yeah, and this goes with the last week's episode with the offer, and they're forcing the city against Arrow.
Yep.
And they're doing it every episode, I guess.
So as the Starling City Arrow crew is racking up the faux arrows, we're gonna go into what the Suicide Squad is gonna be doing. We have John Diggle with his wife Lila, and joining him is Deadshot and the stupid fucking idiot Cupid stupid Cupid joining the crew to take on a rescue mission of a senator in a Eastern European country ending up blowing it up on their face, where we also get the backstory of Deadshot. If you don't know, in the comics, he was actually a good guy trying to do good. But in this backstory, we have him becoming a soldier of fortune, coming back with PTSD, and being recruited by the Hive.
Yeah, it was like American Sniper with comic book characters. So that was an interesting take on his origin story. It worked effectively to show who really was behind John Diggle's brother's murder, Andy, and who the Hive can potentially be, maybe a future villain of sorts. I really like the dynamic with this incarnation of Suicide Squad, because you had the back and forth with Cupid and Deadshot being his sarcastic stuff, like, oh, maybe I should die now, because when Cupid started falling in love with her, cool. And we've seen now John Diggle is the Rick Flag of this universe so far, so, and he's killing it. And he's like,
needs to be Green Lantern.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I like Deadshot a lot. He as a character is really developed, and he has like somewhat of a symmetry with John Diggle, because they're both soldiers.
Yeah.
And you know, Deadshot has lived through it, and he didn't want Diggle to sacrifice his life for his family, you know.
Yeah, just the way he did.
Yeah.
And I think that was great in the story. I did get kind of excited when John Diggle actually wanted to leave Arrow and kind of do something else, which had me thinking, oh my God, we're going to get him in the spin-offs. Since we're losing a lot of people, Robbie Amell, I know,
Peace out, bro.
you're going to get a movie career, so do you.
job.
But that's news for later on. But
Also, that this episode they actually stuck to the title "Suicide Tendencies," and Deadshot was a little too suicidal, you know,
yeah.
with Cupid falling in love with him, and
Yep.
he just wanted to die,
Yep.
and
But unfortunately, as we saw in the last episode, no one really dies in this fucking show.
Like, what about the big showdown for Felicity's heart? We had Adam versus Arrow, or Batman versus Iron Man. I don't know. It was cool for what it was. It was fun to see Oliver sun him like so easily with his high tech suit. But what was funny to me was when Oliver walked off after they had their whole exchange, he left Ray behind, like on the floor. So that was pretty funny. Roy behind. I'm sorry.
yeah, and it was pretty cool because Brandon Routh, he played as Superman, so the Man of Steel wearing steel, you know.
Yeah, and he definitely was more true to form than Superman than anyone than I've ever seen in my life. Even with the whole exchange as Oliver Queen and Ray Palmer, when it's Arrow versus Supersuit, and I was like, that's a little bit too on the nose, but I'll let it go. And yeah, what did happen to Roy?
Yeah, he got shocked, and then
he got shocked. He obviously is not dead or dead, but
no one dies.
You know what? With Roy, he had actually a few good lines at the beginning of the episode, but tailed off to nothingness, which was unfortunate because I thought it was going to be a pretty cool fight. But one thing I would have done different was not even bring Roy into the mission, because that looked kind of weird.
I don't know how they're even basing this Adam character off of anymore. You told me before maybe they wanted Blue Beetle, but they couldn't get him for some apparent reason. I don't know why.
Because he's going to be in the spinoff.
Oh, maybe. So there you go. But they handled that beef a little too much, where it was like more of like a love triangle beef.
Yeah, it was. What I found weird was like how I actually liked it was when Ray was going right after Oliver Queen. He was hitting every stage. He got at Felicity for being with him. He got at Laurel for protecting him, and yet the fire blew out as soon as he hit your fucking umbilical cord, your little surge protector on your machine, and now just because he didn't kill you, it justifies all the other shit that he did.
And him saying she chose you, so you should be better type of stuff like that. That felt very forced. And at the end of the episode, it was like, yeah, let's just be partners for life. So it was corny then, but I'm still pulling for you guys. And here's my question for you guys this episode. Do you guys think the Hive will play a bigger role in the Arrow or even in the larger DC TV universe? Let us know.
So guys, if you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, rate, and comment with your thoughts and questions. My name is Micki Angeles. Find me on Twitter and on Instagram at MickCertified.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _Fred_N.
And I'm Arjay. I'm the guest host here, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter as at RJ Nightwing.
All right, guys, for more news and updates and even our long-form podcast, it could all be found at www.simplyputtalk.com. If you have any questions or topics you guys want us to ask in this show or in others, just send them to info@simplyputtalk.com. simplyput.com, and follow us and stay connected to us in all forms of social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even on YouTube at Simply Put Talk. So till next time, guys, peace.